to draw the B in multiple different ways, different styles, different angles to really impress those people on the streets and give you some legit style. As always with this, we need to start from the very basics. So if you are starting out and you have nowhere to begin, this will be the perfect tutorial for you, and later on we'll move on to advanced forms. So here we have B. This is B just by itself, nothing special. You learn this in kindergarten, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and that's all we need as a starting point to start building some really unique letters. First of all, we're going to do the skeleton of the letter. So here, let's break in the shapes first. Here it's made up of 3 shapes, shape 1 being the back stem, 2 is the top bubble, and 3 for the bottom bubble. And that's all we know, 3 shapes. So with 3 shapes, how are we going to combine it in the most simplest form? It will obviously be just a bigger version of this. Really beginner, I'm not going to teach you 2 bubbles, like a bubble letter straight off the bat, because I'm assuming you know how to do that, but we're just going to thicken up this one here. So we're just thicken up shape number 1. It's not, see, look how it's still got a curve in the middle, so it has got a curvature line. And here, we're just going to thicken up the top half with an overhang here. So we are adding a tiny bit of style, but literally, if I had a style meter, we would be on 5%. And then number 2, we copy that same there, so we give it a bit of a backdrop, like so. And there is a key to this. Don't roll your eyes just there thinking, oh wow, that was absolutely incredible, Sotab. Thank you for wasting 2 minutes of my life. We need to understand the basic structure right now, and then we can start evolving it into super unique and stylized letters. Think of this like Pokemon. You know, you've got the Bulbasaur, then it's going to evolve to the next form, and then obviously Venusaur at the end. Exactly the same principle with these letters here. So now here's shape 1, this is shape 2, and shape 3. Like, be a fool to think that that's all there is to this basic letter structure and that's all you can do with it. We're going to stick to the same formation here. So here we've got shape 1, as we know, is the backbone, as we just drawn, and then we've got shape 2 like this, and shape 3. Okay, so here let's just stick with shape 1 being the same. So it's got similar, well, the same backbone coming in like this. And now we're also going to copy this by just adding the thick lines like this. Here I'm going to bring it out a tiny bit, bring it back like so. Like so. But this time instead, well, first I'll just do shape number 2 up here, and bring that back too, okay? So we are left with an identical shape to shape number 1. But here we're going to start adding some extra bits to give it an extra bit of spice. So here, where it comes round, I'm going to give it a kicker so it comes around like this. That's it, just one little change there. We've got the same shape, 1, 2, 3, but we just add this little extension at the back to start adding a bit more variety to the letter. And here I add this small rectangle shape. So when it comes to lining it, what I would do with spray paint or a pen is literally just point it off one corner, point it off there, and do a thicker line on the outside. And that just gives you that effect there, where in the inside it's a lot smaller than it is on the outside, given the different line thicknesses. And we'll do a similar thing to the top here. Just close it off differently. So here, I'll just do it coming down, up, like so. And maybe the way how it connects, you might want to change it. So here, I want it to come up and come into the B. So it's coming from here, and I'll show that in the line work. So when it does come to lining, I'll actually maybe exaggerate that first one, come up like this, and come through the top half. The reason being is now there's another dimension at play, where this is now being pushed in the background by this shape. So when you do that with the 3D, you end up with a letter with lots of layers and lots of diversity. And already with simple and two extra bits, top and bottom, and maybe you can add a little bit of extension here with this rectangle, we end up with a more stylized letter. And that's how we want to just do this. We want to slowly approach into more developed styles. I don't want to go straight into showing you, okay, we're jumping straight into wild style. It's pointless. because if I do that, I'll only be showing you one specific style and not showing you the fundamental ways where now you can go and create your own letters. Start to see the forms evolve from the simplest to more of a medium style B, and then knowing these steps is just an evolution of keep building up on them until we end up with something that we can call our own style and has some sort of unique flair. So let's copy this shape again, but this time let's really turn the volume up, and that's all it is, it's just adding. So here we're going to keep our wrist super loose, shape number 1 coming in like so. We're just picking that up straight away. We know what we've been doing this whole time. So shape 1. Now we've got shape 2 and shape 3 again. Keep it looser this time, maybe just shoot it back a bit more, get more flow to that letter. The more looser you can be, the more sort of opportunity and things will arise. Even mistakes will come. You start to see things that you done in your mistakes that can use in your letter to add certain elements. Here we're just going to thicken up basic form again, but you see where this sort of left a square. I'm going to sort of keep that square this time, and let's just add this point coming up like so, as sort of block that shape and continue the shape back down. Now here on the back, I want something resting on the back. So here, let's put another shape. Let's just do a shape coming across like so. And maybe just have it cutting straight down through there and resting on the back here. So something like sits like that. And that can be the top half. And look, already you can see how this could have been the letter P. This is the good thing about graffiti, is once you learn some letters, you can see other letters within that letter. So a B could see a P or an R now. That could be an R kicking through. That's what's always good to experiment with other letters and play around with the whole alphabet and not just your name. Okay, so now I'm just going to thicken up the bottom one, so shape 2. But this time, instead of coming around, let's bring it back down. So this is a choice I'm going to make. Bring this down, come up like so. And this time more square off the P. So it comes in, comes back out, maybe add a little jump there, and then come down like so. Here I'm going to add the small rectangles, similar to this over here. Now I'm going to have a look. Any small adjustments I want to make, I'm going to make now, make a decision. And by doing so, you'll end up with a letter very similar to this here, like so, and it's all building from the next. So there's more style, keep constantly be adding. The style's been added on each one, so very simple bubble letter. I'm sure you all know this. Just a few changes, but now we're really accentuating and adding more dynamic to letters by being looser with the lines, still 3D in the base shape, and then from there just adding small elements like a big back here to the thingy, to the back of the B. But if we lost that now, you could lose that and then you just got that shape. But we're just adding this back bit here to fill in this space. And this would be good if it was the beginning of the beginning of a name, because look how the shape sort of leads the viewer in. You always got to be looking where it's viewing people. And here, as I say that, I'm just going to add a small rectangle and then add a few more blocks here, like so. You show something looking like this. But now let's see what happens if we change the base shape completely, entirely change it. So instead of having it come curved this way, let's bend it out and have shape 1 coming down, more aggressive, more angry. And here I'm going to thicken up shape 1 straight away so you can see it being developed as we go. Okay, so shape 1 is this, and sometimes I like just to add little notches here. So I'm going to add this little notch here and just see what it leads us. So instead of coming this way, we now bend it the other way like so. And instead of having it come from this, which is the same as this, let's do more of a square box shape. So something like this, okay? It still holds true to the same value as shape 2 here, but as you can see, it's got points now, hitting different points. And if we just thicken up this, you are left with a P shape. So here, like so, you are left with this P shape. And now let's see what we can do for shape 3. Earlier we had this. Let's bring it, seeing as this is coming up, let's bring this down like this and then connect to. So you end up with something, the basic form being like so. This thing has an entirely different weight. It's the basic, completely different to all the other ones here, but as you can see, there's some areas I still want to look for spots where I can weigh it out, meaning balance the letter. So if you can see without me telling you, have a little guess where you would add something. Now if you're thinking similar to me, it's definitely going to be in this corner here. So where this is coming down, I'm going to keep this, but where this is coming through, I'm going to bring this down like this, have this shape come in, and already it's got more balance there entirely. Here I'm just going to add a little loose line to add some flair, and maybe just add an arrow here, just point it from the back. And as you start exploring with letters, a lot of people say to you, oh, I can't find a graffiti name, I haven't got a graffiti name, can you help me? I would play around with the letters first, play around with the whole alphabet and see what letters you enjoy. Because just by drawing this B already, it's telling you, okay, to me, it's saying it would look good at the beginning of a name. Say if your name was, I don't know, Blue, something like that. I feel like the way it has this shape continually, going in, going in, going in. If I had the B with the L, the U and the E kicking off at the end, it makes a nice shape in its entirely. Complete shape is nice compared to if it's just a single letter. So if you are one of those people who are just beginning and need a graffiti name, play around with letters that you think you'll like S is a very common one, everyone likes to do an S. C can be nice, the letter R is quite nice. And play around. And then you can just look for places you want to add little things. So here with the little rectangle we have here, I'm going to add maybe the top here. And just to add something else to the letter. And already we've got in a completely different B by just changing the base form. Angling it up, pulling it down, manipulating it, and just keep building it until you end up with an entirely different letter, like so. Okay, now this is a good experiment that's happened accidentally, but we'll add it into today's lesson. Look at the shape we are left with here. We have this kind of area here, or we can put something in there. So using this and using the lesson, we're going to combine the two and show you how you're going to start learning how to make letters fit in. So here is a B, and we have no choice right now because this is the shape we have. If we had more paper, the piece would go along, but this is the shape we're going to use. So shape 1 is going to come across like this, okay? Boom. Now it's going to fit into this space. And this is how you want to train your mind to start thinking, is how letters are going to fit, or what way will they fit in. And here I'm just going to give it something to sit on. Like so. So that's now shape 1. Shape 2, I'm going to have coming out like so. And just thicken it up. So I get a rough idea like this. And now we've got shape 3. Here I want to make something bigger to fit in. So for this, I'm going to have it come out and then bring it back in like so. So it's got a lot of movement, a lot of weight now thrown this way. Because it's got so much weight thrown this way, I want to counteract that by putting something on the back end. So here, put a bit of weight on the back by putting this shape in. That just gives it a bit more balance now, as you can see it being pulled up. Give something there to break it up, and now we just start going to town, adding other elements to make this letter very unique. And for this, you want to think about shape thicknesses, where these are all quite similar. Here I'm going to make it thin at the top and then come out to a thicker shape as it comes down, and then round off like so. And even from the center, I'll have it connecting back up and maybe do a thin line coming out. It's coming behind the letter now. And then it can come up across the front. Just like this. It kind of reminds me of like a hockey player. I always see letters like characters or animals. I don't know why, I think it's just the way everyone's mind is different, that's how I visualize it. But to me, it's like a hockey player with a stick. And that'd be cool as well, maybe. If you really want to be smart now, you can start adding things like a hockey puck, and then you can do like a hockey piece, like a hockey style feet piece. Maybe have character next there, character there, fighting the bee. Get really creative with it, and that's the one thing I love most about graffiti is it's all shapes, a lot of it's free flowing, and it's very creative. There's a lot of creative elements with just letting your mind do a lot of the work, and you're playing around with each shape. This is going to come back in. Here I want to just have a similar to, where is it, over here. Keep that shape, bring it back in. Add that element. To be honest, I'm kind of liking it how it is, without going too crazy complete nuts with it and adding too many extensions and etc. But yeah, you end up with something like this. And there we have it, guys. That is another beat, and it's what's interesting is managing to fit in that space, and that's something that is key when it comes to learning graffiti letters, and it's managing to put letters in the right angles or right position so the whole piece will flow naturally. Obviously, you had like a letter here and letter here. You want to look for something that's just going to fit in between and connect the whole piece as one congruent structure. If you want the rest of the alphabet, head over to the Patreon. It's all over there. Early release, along with other tutorials where I teach about character design and just the general journey of art. So if that interested you, yeah, head over there. Thank you for sticking around with this tutorial. Until next time, hope you keep